Hello and welcome back to BU Inspirational Interviews. Please remember to subscribe if you are enjoying these interviews so far. And thank you so much for being here. I am here with Mike.
Ireland.
Mike, what? Ireland?
Ireland, like the
Is
country.
that your really last name? Oh, that's cool. Mike Ireland. My favorite thing about Mike is he is the biggest animal lover. He has since I've been in Marin County, I've heard of him rescuing 2 animals, and I haven't even been here a year yet. So I was like, oh, Mike's great. But yeah, I don't really know much about Mike, so we're gonna go ahead and introduce. I'll let you introduce yourself and a little bit about you.
Again, my name's Mike Ireland. I grew up in Novato, but I was born in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
I was a Air Force baby.
Oh.
Yeah, so we moved back here when I was probably close to a year, and then we were in Pacifica for till I was 5 or 6.
Oh.
hmm and then we moved to Marin, and then we've been. I lived in Marin with my folks until I was about 17 or 18, and moved to Petaluma. Was there for a few years and came back down. I can go from the very beginning to the end. I don't know how far you want to go.
Yeah. Let's go. Hold on. Pause. So yeah, let's start from the beginning.
Anyway, yeah, I was born in Arkansas, moved to Pacifica. We lived there for, like I said, probably till I was 4 or 5,
Yeah.
and that's where I was attacked by the German Shepherd.
Oh.
Yeah,
In Pacifica?
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. I forgot what it was. Gateway.
Gateway. That sounds
It was on
it sounds
Gateway.
like South City kind of, but maybe it could be Pacifica.
I think it was
don't know.
Gateway. I could be wrong. But anyway, yeah, that's we moved up to Novato, and my parents split up when I was 11. We were in the same house in Novato, and Dad went and did his thing, and me and my sister stayed with my mom until I graduated. And I graduated, and that's when I moved to Petaluma. And I moved there for, like I said, a few years, and I worked for my dad from when I was 18 till like 27, 26,
What did
27.
he do? What did he do?
Carpenter. I was
Oh, okay.
interior work in high-rise buildings, T-bar ceiling
Wow.
type
Okay.
stuff. Yeah, wasn't what I considered carpentry, but
Yeah.
you use tools, and I never liked it. So I got injured when I fell off a scaffold, and broke my elbow.
Oh my God.
It was just like a 6-foot scaffold, but sometimes you're trying to pull along
Yeah.
on a concrete floor, and it's not moving, and then all of a sudden it does move. It's like a skateboard.
How old were you when you?
I was
fell?
20. I think I was 27, 26, 27 when I did that. So that basically got me out of that trade.
Yeah.
I went to physical therapy for a year, and I was modeling that whole time too. I've been a model for, I was a model.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah, yeah, I was a model for a few years, and did a lot of crazy stuff when I did that because I wasn't working, so I could do all the clubs
Yeah.
in the city all night till like 6 in the morning because they had runways and stuff, runway
Wow.
shows and stuff like that. Yeah, didn't get paid a lot. Got a lot of cool clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did that until, um, well, and during that time when I was modeling, I was also dealing drugs, getting myself into trouble. Idle hands type thing.
Yeah.
So I got in trouble and I got arrested, went to jail, and I was only for a short time, maybe a few weeks, but I had probation after that. Anyway, I got off probation and I met my wife, was girlfriend at the time, and she got pregnant with Haley, my daughter,
Oh.
and we were together for about 4 or 5 years, and we got married. We really were at each other's throats for the first 4 or 5 years because she came from a Jehovah's Witness family,
Oh, okay.
and I came from a broken family. So she's incredibly smart. She was a genius level smart. I mean, she could do anything. She ran 3 companies while I knew her.
Wow.
Yeah, big real estate and mortgage lending and stuff like that. She's like a controller. But she didn't want to do that. She hated it. She was she got out of the religion before she met me, and she decided that she was going to do something different than real estate. So she wanted to do, but she got into a car accident. What happened?
Oh no.
I'm jumping in front of myself here. She when she stopped the family business, she became an EMT.
Oh,
She was an
it's an
EMT.
interesting path to.
She just wanted something physical rather than
Oh
sitting
yeah.
behind a desk all the time.
Okay.
So she became an EMT, and like I think 3 or 4 years into it, she was hit by a semi truck. Yeah.
Oh my
Of all things that happened coming
God.
down Terralinda, she was behind alongside of a semi, and then there was a truck alongside of that, and had a dog in it, and the dog jumped out of the truck. Shh, that's enough. The dog jumped out of the truck. Shh, then the semi swerved to miss the dog, and took the whole side of the van out.
Oh my God. No
Really
wonder
messed.
you don't like Pacifica.
Well, no, this was in Marin. I met
Oh.
her in Marin.
Oh.
Yeah, I hadn't gone back to
But you
Pacific.
said this happened in Terra Linda.
Terralinda. This
Oh,
right,
Terra Linda's here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Terra
sorry.
Linda here.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Linda Mar for some reason,
Yeah,
which
no,
is in
coming down
Pacifica.
from San Rafael.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she got the whole side of her van opened up, and she went to the hospital, had a lot of back problems, rib problems that never got resolved because their insurance was bad, and they fought her every step of the
As
way.
an EMT?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This was before everybody was suing and making all this money
Yeah.
and everything. She was
Dang.
she was taking advantage. They took care of her medical stuff that she had to take. She was in medical care for like 3 years after that, and that's when I met her. She had to quit her
Oh.
job as an EMT and had to go back to real estate stuff for a new
Oh.
company, not her dad or anything. Her dad's he's probably a billionaire. He's got so much money. He owns property in all over Marin County, everywhere. He's been buying real estate since he was 18 years old.
Wow.
And he's like 80, and he's never sold one property.
Oh. Wow.
He owns businesses and homes and everything all over Marin and San Rafael and Terralinda, all over. I worked for him for a while. But anyway, long story short with that, we got together. She came from a weird family, Jehovah's Witness, and he was a weird man, and he was very abusive, mentally type, passive aggressive type, really weird stuff. So she learned how to do that.
Oh no.
So she would do that with me. So we would always be at each other's throats, and we had Haley together. Finally, I moved out. I said, I can't do this anymore. We can't fight like this anymore, especially in front of Haley.
Yeah.
And she said, well, what can I do? I said, you need counseling. You got to get counseling.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, if that will make you so you won't leave, I'll do counseling. She goes, but will you do one thing too? I said, what? She goes, will you come with me?
To counseling.
And I said,
Oh.
okay, let's do it. So I went, and I went twice, and the counselor said, I've been in counseling forever with my background. So I knew what was coming, and I knew what she needed. I couldn't tell her because I was biased. But he said, Mike, we don't need you here. You go ahead, and I'm just going to see Tam, your wife, for a while. She went to him for a year and a half straight. And she's not the type who likes to lose at anything. She's has to win everything, and she has to know everything. So she went into this thinking that she was going to figure this all out, and she was going to be able to keep her doing her own thing. And well, she ended up changing. She did a 180. She became the best person that I'd ever met.
Wow.
She asked me to marry her.
Aw.
Yeah, she asked me to marry her after a year and a half. So I said, yeah, we got married, and we went to not Cabo San Lucas. We went to another city down in Mexico for our wedding and our honeymoon.
Wow.
It was awesome. We took 5 people down with us, and we got married on the beach, and it was great. We had a great life. I mean, it was amazing. She wanted nothing more than to see me succeed, and she did. Everything she did perfect. And then she got cancer. Yeah, I don't talk about it that much, you can tell, but she got cancer and passed when she was 38. And I was like, what was I? 44, maybe 42, something like that. I don't know. But she was in the hospital for 13 days, and she passed. Yeah, she went in with a stomach ache. It was her
She didn't know?
kidneys and liver were breaking down because of breast cancer went bloodborne, and it just ate her liver and kidneys, cirrhosis completely.
Gosh.
That's why her stomach was starting to distend, and they thought maybe she was pregnant. Nope, it was stage 4 breast cancer.
So she found out when she was stage 4?
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
She said, well, 2 weeks before, we're sitting in our hot tub, and she's like, I need you to check me to see if you feel anything. Because I think I feel a lump in my breast. I'm like, okay, well, she had really big boobs. So it was like, I don't know what I'm feeling here. Their mammaries are big, and they both feel,
Fine. Yeah.
I go, but if you think there's something wrong, let's go get you checked. Two days later, I think it was, she said, we're at work. I'm a general contractor. I got my general contractor's license while I was with her. And we were doing property management. And I was also, I owned maintenance company, so I had maintenance jobs in Nevada. And I started a business with her for cleaning, maintenance cleaning and stuff like that. So she was cleaning and I was doing the maintenance part of it. She came to me and she says, we got to go to the hospital. Something's wrong. And we went up to the hospital. They couldn't figure out what was wrong for the first 24 hours or so till they did all the x-rays and everything. The next day they told us. So they got her on chemo and every other thing they could put her on, and that just killed her, just like that. I mean, within 24 hours, she was incoherent. She couldn't talk. Her tongue was so swollen.
Because of the chemo?
Because of all the drugs, yeah. Everything was just, they kill you. They kill you while they're trying to kill the cancer. So, yeah, and Haley was 11 at the time. So we went through that. Like I said, 2 weeks later, she was gone. They had to take her off life support.
That is
It was devastating. It was devastating. I mean, my whole life, I'd never planned on getting married because my dad was like, "Don't you ever get married? You don't need to get married. Why get married? So they can take half of everything you have when you get divorced." Yeah, that's his mentality. I'm like, okay, Dad, you're right. I won't ever do that. That's crazy. I don't want to give all my stuff away. My dad's this multi-millionaire. He's all pinching over his pennies, And funny. So I just had this mindset. I wasn't ever going to get married. I didn't need to.
Yeah.
You know what got me to get that to say yes to her? When my daughter says, "Why do me and you have a different last name than Mommy?" I said, "We'll have to discuss that."
Yeah.
And we sat down and had a big talk about it. And then that's probably within, like I said, 6 to 8 months or so. That's when, when her insurance ran out for her counseling. She was going 2 days a week for a year and then broke down to 1 day a week for the next 6 months or so. And yeah, she was just like, well, let's do it. So we did it. We got married, and it was awesome. Till the day she died, it was great. I never had anybody support me like that. I mean, I succeeded so fast. It was unbelievable. Because all she would do is just tell me to do something. Now we go do it. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this. She was on the phone talking to everybody. We set up websites and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool. We worked really good together. And after she passed, I worked at that. I continued working at the same place for about another year and a half. Then they went into a new homeowners association. They had new presidents and stuff like that. They didn't want to pay me anymore. So I had some money saved up, so I just kind of took a hiatus, and that's what got me back into drugs.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I was into drugs for a little while. Finally, my daughter said, "I'm out of here." We had a big falling out. And ended up losing my house. We bought a house in Petaluma, and I ended up losing that. I mean, it foreclosed, but I had so much money in equity that when they sold it, I still made, I probably made about $350,000 on it.
You're still okay.
Yeah, so I was all right, but I had to pay off all my loans. I had the second loan from the first loan from the bank and the second loan from my dad for a down payment because we put $170 down on the house. Yeah, we bought it at the end of that big boom in like 2011 or 12 or something like that. A huge influx of all these, what do they call them? Um, just you can just get loans. And it's a shoot, I forgot. It's been so long.
Well, you
But
missed the
anybody,
boat.
everybody was getting these loans and buying houses and buying property, and then they were fixing them up and selling them really quick and making quick money.
Yeah.
Well, they stopped all that. So we got it in right at the last second. We got the house, and so we stayed there. Like I said, I was paying that thing like crazy, and at the end, I couldn't make the payments, and I got into trouble with a person I rented a room to. She ended up. Have you ever heard of nightmare stories about tenants that ruin your home and ruin your life? I got to meet one of them
Oh God.
firsthand. She was the devil, absolute devil. She came into my house telling me she wanted. At that point, I was clean and sober. I didn't want to have anything to do with drugs. After my daughter moved out, said, "I'm gonna redo my life." Shh, shh, that's enough.
Oh.
That's enough. I'm going to redo my life, and I want to have decent people around me. So like this girl came in, she's, I want to be clean. I want to get away from that. Was a scam.
Oh man.
She came in, she ended up, every time I left my house, she ended up breaking everything in my house, stealing things. Breaking? Yeah, just dropping stuff, breaking things, throwing, all these things that meant a lot to me. My family and my wife and my daughter, and things just, all of a sudden, mirrors broken, doors broken. Every time I left my house, something would be on fire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and at that point, she had changed her address and her driver's license, signed my name, and got her driver's license, her ID card, moved to my house. So she was officially at my house. And then she started telling the police that I was abusing her.
Oh my God.
I went to jail like 3 or 4 times. I went to jail 3 or 4 times because of it. The last time, they took the temporary restraining orders off of me and gave me a 3.5-year restraining order in my own home. She ended up stealing everything from my house, everything. And what she didn't steal, she threw out. Everything, because my house got foreclosed on when I wasn't there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I got out with what I could, and I came here because Nikki was my friend before any of this, all that stuff went down. Me and Nikki, we got to know each other when we were both using. And we were friends and everything, but she was on a different path than I was, and I was going my own way, and I told her I couldn't hang out with her anymore. And she got clean and sober on her own, and I did at my time. And then, like I said, I got kicked out of my house. I was living in a parking lot in my Subaru at the Sheridan in Petaluma.
Oh my gosh.
I had no money. I had nothing. I was destitute, broke, and all the all the real estate and everything hadn't. They when they foreclose, it takes like a year and a half before anything. The money's changed hands, loans get paid, everything. I got my little bit, and I split it with my daughter, what I got from my house, and I moved in here and been here ever since. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Nikki's my savior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that just brushes the surface.
I'm sure. So well.
And the whole time I had my dog with me.
Oh.
That was Rocky.
Yeah, so Mike had a pit bull also.
Yeah, I've had all pit bulls all my life.
Aw. And now he has the cutest little.
Now I have a Pomeranian.
And what's Tater?
Tater's a Jack Russell and a Chihuahua.
Oh, he's so
Long
cute.
hair.
Yeah.
He's the crazy one. They're all these dogs and cats are all Nikki's. I'm just here to help take care. I mean, you could probably consider him mine because it's like there's not an inch that I move in this house that he's not right next to me. I make my coffee every morning. He comes in, sits, and he knows where I make my coffee. He sits right underneath me. Yeah. He's funny.
Aww.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
So let's take it back to, what was your wife's name?
Tammy.
Tammy. What was your favorite thing, your takeaway from your time together?
My wife was so family oriented. Something I wasn't. Because me and my dad, we've always had our, friction.
Yeah.
Conflicts, whatever. He is unfortunately, he's a no nonsense, strike your feelings kind of guy, matter of fact. And when what happened was, we were I was about maybe 8 or 9. We went on a vacation to Yosemite camping, my folks and a bunch of other families. And my dad decided he was going to go. Some of his friends from work, guys that worked for him, were going to go up to Yosemite too, and they were mountain climbers. And my dad was going to try mountain climbing. So we went mountain climbing. He went mountain climbing, and when he was rappelling, the line broke around the tree, and he fell like almost 200 feet. Yeah, he had to be airlifted out.
Oh my gosh.
He spent over, I think about a year in Kaiser here in San Rafael. He was in critical care up in Sonora, I think somewhere, at a hospital up there till he was able to be moved.
Crazy.
Yeah, he completely blew both legs out. The doctor said his bones from his knees down looked like eggshells.
Ew.
He had a punctured lung, 8 broken ribs, 1,000 stitches just in his face and head. When my mom went in to see him, she's like, "No, that's not my husband." And all she can recognize was his tattoo.
Oh my gosh.
So he spent almost a year in the hospital till I was probably 10, 9 or 10. And then he came home and he was in bed. He was at the house. We nursed him back to health. We had a 2-story house. We had to have a hospital bed downstairs. And we nursed him back to health. And I guess it was about 11 or 12 when I went to camp in Camp Mendocino up in Mendocino County, Boys Club camp. And I got back and Dad moved out. Mom and Dad, they're just too, my dad, like I said, my parents got together when they were like in their early teens. He got married right out of high school. My dad got into Air Force. My mom moved off for them and had me there. Came back and we were living in Novato for, well, till I was 12. I guess we were living in that particular house in Novato till I was 14 or 15. They sold that house and we moved to San Marin in Novato, me and my mom and my sister. So I was kind of a mama's boy. I really didn't have a lot of male influence. So that comes with, more feelings than you should. Women tend to have more feelings. They feel things.
Yeah.
They're more emotional.
Yeah.
And when boys grow up without a father around,
Yeah.
they tend not to take traits from their mother.
It's true.
My
but
mom
feelings are okay.
Well, no, they are. They're all right. But you end up.
But you feel like you were imbalanced.
What you end up doing is when you don't have a balance, you end up taking on the side of the person that you're with.
Yeah.
And my mom was very bitter.
Oh.
Very bitter. And didn't have anything good to say about my dad.
Oh.
But I worked for my dad.
Yeah.
My dad was like, he responds to people that take care of him. You take care of me, I'll take care of you. It will be reciprocal. I will make you happy as long as you make me happy.
Got it.
I didn't understand that. I just saw my dad doing all these things for people that were not his son. I was jealous. I worked for him for 10 years, and I was in the union in the city, worked for him for 10 years, and was running work and making money and doing good. And I was just like, why is the truck driver now the superintendent? He's a truck driver. He's not a carpenter. He's not even doing anything. I was bent about that. But this guy, he stroked my dad the right way. He did everything my dad liked. And I was a spoiled brat. I mean, obviously, he didn't like me very much. He loved me, but he didn't like my behavior. So when I fell off the scaffold and broke my elbow, that was kind of my
Way out.
my way out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So once I broke my elbow, got in trouble, got out of rehab, did all that stuff, met my wife. That's when I met her brother-in-law. He was a carpenter, and he's hey, I do this work on these manufactured homes. It's all warranty work. We drive all over California. You want to help me? I said, sure. I worked with him for like 6 months or a year. It was cool. And Tam's like, why? You're a good carpenter. I go, yeah, but I don't know how to work with wood that well. Mom, I do a metal stuff. So, but you're still a good carpenter. You can do it. You can do anything. She pumped me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I can.
Yeah.
So she put ads out and Craigslist and stuff like that. Handyman. My first business was Mike's Handyman Service.
Oh.
So I was doing a couple of jobs to fill in the time from the week during I was working for my brother-in-law. He wasn't my brother-in-law at the time. Once we got married, he was my brother-in-law. But I worked for him for 3 days a week, and then I do 2 days a week of my people that would call me for my handyman service. After about 3 or 4 months, I had no time to work for him anymore.
Wow.
I was called so much. I had so much work. It was crazy because we would go deliver flyers to like senior citizen parks, trailer parks and stuff,
Yeah.
give them discounts and stuff. I had so much work. It was crazy. And then that's when this complex in Nevada called me, and they said, "Can you come work for us? You know all the stuff about commercial stuff." Like, yeah, yeah. I did a big walkthrough and had a big conference with them, and they hired me, and I didn't have my license. They're all, "We'll try to make it work. I'll try to make it work," because you have to have your license for anything and everything, because
Yeah.
it's all insurance.
Yeah.
You know. So they're all, "We're gonna have to let you go unless you get your contractor's license." And I'm like, "Fucking contractor's license? I've just been doing carpentry, wood carpentry for a couple years now. I'm like, totally insecure." But my boss I worked for before that, I worked in between, before I went to work for Steve-O, my brother-in-law. I worked for a company called Fairway Builders here in Nevada. And my wife knew him because she invested a lot of money with him. My wife was a controller for a mortgage broker that also did small money lending during that time. All these contractors wanted to borrow money, but they couldn't do it through banks. So they get rich people to all put money into pools, and they would dole it out to these people, make high interest, but high interest would only be for maybe a few months until they were able to sell the property that they were fixing up or whatever, get their money back. That's just. My wife put it this way: she was going to the bank every other day, Bank of Marin, and depositing at least $100,000 to $250,000 every other day.
Jeez.
That's how much money these people were changing hands with all these, remodels and stuff.
Yeah.
These things that they're doing. So I worked for this guy who was borrowing money, contractors doing this stuff, and I worked for him for like a year and a half, and he actually brought me up from apprentice till I was running work for him. I ran all kinds of work up and down Fairway in Nevada here.
Yeah.
And so when it came time for me to see if I could buy my contractor's license, you have to have a past employer vouch for you. You can't just get a license. You have to have somebody say, yeah, he knows how to do blueprints. He knows how to do this. He knows that. And he signed off for me.
Aw,
I got the,
awesome.
yeah, I got all the paperwork, and I studied. Me and my wife studied. We studied for like 3.5, 4 months. There's 8,000 questions
Oh my
on a
gosh.
contractor's test. 8,000 questions that they can ask you.
Yeah.
Out of those 8,000 questions, they'll only ask you 400. There's
That's still a lot.
there's four different categories. There's
Yeah.
all the different categories you have to know, plumbing and this, all of it. And there's only 400 questions, but there's 8,000 that they could pick from.
That's crazy.
So you have to know
all
of them.
Yeah.
So we would just go through test after test after test after test, and you couldn't go to the next session until you passed every test you took. Finally, I went down to Oakland, got my test, and I passed all my tests and
First try?
Well, 3 of them I did my first try. The plumbing one took me 2 times. A couple times I had to go back. Yeah, but then I got that one, and I got my license, and like I said, I was off to the races after that.
Yeah.
We were just killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, because she had so many connections in the real estate world, because since she had to quit EMT, she had to go back to real estate. She wasn't working for her father anymore. She was working for a couple of different big real estate agencies.
Yeah.
And we would go clean out foreclosures and stuff like that, and get paid big money for it. And then the job that I was doing in Nevada, and we were killing it. And we opened the business for her, the maintenance cleaning company, and she was doing that for like a year before she died. So yeah, she was the biggest motivator I've ever had. She was the biggest motivator I ever had. She made me think that I could do everything,
Yeah.
and I had him fooled. I had them all fooled. I could do it all.
Yeah, I
But
don't think you had them fooled. I think you could do. I mean, I think
I had them fooled
she gave you
until I
the.
knew it. You know, until I
Yeah.
knew it. It was like those insecurities. It's the insecurities that keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there was nothing that I would go into not well versed. Even if there was something I had to do the night before or weeks before, I was like, you know, if I didn't know it, there was people that I knew who did it.
Yeah.
It was like, and I could hire people because I was a contractor.
Yeah.
So there anything, I would just hire them, and they'd pay me, and I'd pay them. Just kind of how it works.
Yeah.
But you can't do that if you don't have a license.
Yeah.
You can't hire people. So once I got my license, that all fell into place and
Yeah.
worked real well. Yeah. So and two, being so family oriented, she was. We always did everything together. We camped every year. We bought a the first couple times we took Haley camping. She was only 1 or 2. We rented RVs
Yeah.
for the times we did, and then by the third time we went up, we bought a trailer,
Yeah.
and so we were able to go trailer around and stuff. And she would do crazy stuff like get us bed and breakfasts for all 3 of us, like in Carmel and crazy stuff like that. Yeah, it was like I never did anything like that because I
Yeah.
never planned on having a family.
That's crazy.
Knocked
how
her
life
up and had Haley, and guess what? I instantly family. And then we got married, and it was funny because I loved every day
Yeah.
being married.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I loved wearing my ring
Yeah. How
It was
come you
weird.
don't wear it anymore?
because I'm not married anymore.
Yeah, technically you are.
Yeah, doesn't even fit anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you
But-
have it.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
I did
That's
save
good.
that. There was some things that I was able to
Good.
get out of there. Yeah,
Good, good.
definitely.
Do you still talk to your daughter?
Oh yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah.
Good.
As a matter of fact, we. So where were we?
So your favorite takeaway was
Oh, yeah,
that
and
she
then
was
my
she taught
my
you
daughter.
to be family
daughter.
oriented and your daughter, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
You still have a
We had the falling out when she was about 20, and that's kind of at the lowest point of after my wife died.
Yeah.
You know. So she moved out and moved in. She wouldn't even tell you. She didn't tell me where she went. She's lived with me her whole life. I mean, I've raised her since she was 11,
Yeah.
and me and my wife both raised her since before that. So to not have her in my life when she moved out when she was 20, it was probably the loneliest and most devastating thing in my life ever to ever happen to me.
How long did you guys
Oh,
separate?
well, I'm going to get to that.
Sorry.
She left when she was 20, a little over 20, and it was she wasn't. I guess she was 22. About a year and a half before we started to talk again. I was living here. I'd been clean and sober for like about a year and a half or something like that. And she just basically stayed away from me. And I was talking to my mom all the time, and my mom never told me she was living there.
Oh, she went to go live with
She
your
went
mom?
She went to Oregon and
Oh.
moved in with my mom. And my mom didn't want to. My mom's she's a different character, but my mom didn't want to make any waves, and she didn't want to get Haley mad at her and this and that. So she waited for Haley to talk to me about it. So, yeah. So we started to talk when I kind of figured out she was up there. It's like, Mom, where is Haley?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, come on. There's no reason for you not to want to. So I just want to make sure, because Haley, you have to talk to Haley. I says, Haley living with you? Yes. Okay. I knew it. I was glad. I was glad she went there because she had friends down here, but not the type of friends that would give her a place to stay. She had a dog and 2 cats she moved out with. She's the best dog in the world. And great cats I love too. I loved her cats. My mom made her get rid of them, the cats,
Aww.
because they would knock the stuff off her tables and stuff like that. My mom's
But
not.
cats do.
I know.
And you can
Totally.
teach them not to do that too.
They were already grown.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she was able to get rid of the cats, but she kept the dog. She was able to keep Landon. Her dog, his name's Landon. He's this monstrous. He's a Doberman Pinscher,
Oh.
but he's blonde.
Oh, I love those.
He's a blonde, all 100% blonde Doberman
my
Pinscher with
gosh.
blue eyes and a curled tail
Oh.
because he's half husky, half Doberman
he's
Pinscher.
probably so handsome.
Oh, he's beautiful. He looks like a sphinx or something like that. He's the most
Wow.
amazing dog, as smart as can be. Anyway, they moved up there when she was, I guess, 6 months, 8 months after she'd moved out, she moved up with my mom. She went to school up there. She became a cosmetologist.
Mm,
Yeah, just just killing it in every way. Did
yeah.
everything. She's doing so good right now.
Good. Yeah.
I've been up there 3 or 4 times in the last 2 years to visit her, and I just
Yeah.
got back a week ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was up there
Oh,
for
that's
I was up there for
awesome.
7 days. We went fishing. She's took up fly fishing. Yeah, crazy. So we went out fishing and we
That's
hunt we hunt we
cool.
hang out. But she was working. She would work 7 days a week.
Oh,
And she works at a bistro 2 days a week, and she works at this Clips place up there 5 days a week.
yeah.
So all of her free time we spent
Oh, that's
together. Yeah,
awesome.
she's my favorite person in the whole world
Yeah.
by far.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Since she's been back in my life, my whole life has changed.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can also imagine, so the way you described like your family before, and then I mean, everybody, when you go through a loss like that, you just kind of just lose yourself, which is everybody does. Everybody does. But I think witnessing it as a child, and that's probably what she probably couldn't handle in a way, losing two parents, kind
Oh
of, you
yeah.
know?
No, it's exactly what
So
happened.
I think that, I mean,
No.
it was not anything towards you. I think it was like, this is too much. I need to, you know,
Oh yeah.
distance myself from this.
Well, there was a episode that happened.
Oh.
It went right before she left. She started dating this guy she met online,
Hmm.
and wasn't a good guy. I could just tell when she introduced me to him. He just wasn't. He was
Mm.
shady. Everything about him.
Mm.
Well, a month or so into them seeing each other, they'd made a plan that they were going to jump me, and they were going to. They,
What?
my daughter hated this woman that was living at my house, the one that was taking
Uh-huh.
advantage of
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It was a slow grift, this whole thing that she was planning. She was acting like she was on my side, telling me everything I
The
wanted to
lady?
hear, the lady. And she was really just sabotaging everything, and my daughter was seeing it,
Yeah.
and I wasn't. So they planned on jumping her and
Oh,
beating
her.
her.
Not
But
you.
what happened was, I went, I had cameras all around my house. I had like 10 cameras around my house. And I was in my room and I saw something going on outside, and it looked weird. And my daughter and her started to get into it, screaming, and then her boyfriend started to mess with this friend of hers that was over. And I walk out and I'm like, what's going on? And at that point, they had taken off. The girl and that her friend had taken off, and he jumped me
In front of your daughter?
with my daughter, and my daughter maced me,
What in the
a mace
world?
that I gave her, maced me with, yeah, totally incapacitated me. Grabbed my eyes, and while he was holding me, she was grabbing my eyes and spraying this stuff into my eyes. Yeah, I was completely blind, couldn't breathe, and on top of it, 2 days before I got a COVID shot.
Oh,
So I was COVID ridden.
yeah.
Couldn't
Oh.
even pick my arms up. It was ice cold winter. I had a big jacket on. And I just, for 3.5 minutes, I was pummeled by them. Pummeled. Beat the crap out of me. Yeah. The other two took off. They never saw them again. The
What?
police came, everything. I was in my house when the police came. They gave a statement. Da, 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 and they came in and asked me if I wanted to. They knocked on the door and they saw me and they're, oh my God, my face was swollen and bloody and
Oh my.
messed up. Oh yeah, it was pretty brutal. And I tried to press charges, and they wouldn't. My daughter was told the cops that I was dealing drugs and all this stuff, and they wouldn't even take me seriously. Didn't even take a statement, nothing. I had it all on video too, because I had cameras, everything
What
on video.
in the?
And my partner transferred it all to a CD, brought it to the DA. They wouldn't even look at it.
That is insane.
And I'm glad they didn't, because they didn't. At that point, I wanted my daughter to get in trouble, and I wanted him to get in trouble. I wanted her to learn a lesson that you can't do that.
That's probably what she was trying to teach you. Was teach
But,
you a lesson.
but
I don't know
you
what.
know what? As it turned out, it was like it didn't go through. I would have loved to see him go to jail because he was the bad one in the whole thing, and it just turned out it didn't. And So she moved out, and then from that moment on, that woman ramped up her game to get me out of my own home. And at that point, I had been to jail. That 1 week later, I went to jail. I was in jail for 4 days because they had to. It was over the weekend, and the judge wasn't in until like Monday or Tuesday. So I was in jail, and I did that 2 times, 3 times. 3 times I was in jail. The third time, and they put me on a restraining order, a month restraining order from my house every time. But I would get, she would never press charges against me. She would just tell them that I did stuff, but never go through with it, press charges. They say, she said you hit him, and then there was no evidence of
Proof, yeah.
anything. And she just kept dropping everything because she just wanted me out of the house because she wanted to sell all my stuff because she's a
What?
fentanyl addict.
Oh,
Fentanyl.
Lord.
And all of her friends were fentanyl addicts. That's,
Are they still alive?
I don't know.
Probably not.
The restraining
Fentanyl
order.
is like the number one
The restraining order.
cause of death.
Well, I'll tell you, the restraining order came after she dosed me. I was clean for a month. I was a month and a half clean. Just got back from doing a job in Novato. Sat down. I have my office all set up. That's where I stayed. That's where my dog, me, and she was wrecking the whole rest of my house. I couldn't even get her out of my house. I couldn't even get her to stop. Because every time I'd even say, stop the fucking messes. I got real estate agents coming, this and that. She would say, fuck you. Smash something on the ground, break my wife's pictures, threw my wife's pictures away. Just literally doing whatever she could to get me pissed off so she'd call the cops on me. She got me kicked out of the house again, and that's when she sold everything, sold all my stuff, and traded it all for dope. People were calling me up going, dude, I'm at your house right now, and this bitch is giving all your stuff away. I said, giving it all away for fentanyl. Well, yeah. She's gone. They kept a 3.5-year restraining order on her. I went back to my house. The last straw was when I moved out, because, when she dosed me, I overdosed. She put something in my food or my drink in my room. I come home, I make a sandwich,
What in
I
the
pour a drink,
world?
soda, and next thing I know, I'm waking up 2 days later in intensive care in Petaluma Hospital because the only thing I could remember was aspirating into my garbage can. I fell over into my garbage can and I was throwing up, but breathing at the same time. That's what that's called, aspirating, where you inhale what you're throwing up.
Oh,
And what it does is it fills your lungs up.
oh my God.
Yeah. So I was dying. She called the paramedics, the EMTs. They came and got me, took me to the hospital. They Narcaned me and all this stuff, and I wasn't coming out of it because I never did anything like heroin or fentanyl or anything like that. So whatever she did was microscopic, and it just wiped me out. And they said this guy's shaking me as these beepers kept coming off because my breathing was so low that it triggers a beep. If you don't breathe enough, they'll come and wake you up and breathe. So they had the tubes in my nose, but if you don't suck up, you don't get it.
Yeah.
So the guy came in and says, wake up, man, wake up. So do you know where you are? I see all these stuff coming out of me. I got this tube in my nose. I'm like, no. So you're in the hospital. You OD'd. Fentanyl and speed. And I'm like, what? I'm not on drugs. Well, yeah, you are now, pal. He was all pissed. So start breathing. Breathe. You got to breathe. We're not wasting our money on you. Yeah, they saved my life on a drug addict, you know.
Wow.
That's what they look at. They look at fentanyl addicts. They look at waste of time. Because they're just going to go back out and do it again, you know. They get Narcaned and then they get pissed when they wake up because they're not high anymore. Well, I was in the hospital for 7 days. After 7 days, after 7 days, I was in ICU for 3 days, and then after that, I was able to go home. She came to visit me. I'm like in my own car. She didn't have a car. Came down to visit me with a stolen stuffed animal and a thing of uncooked top ramen to tell them she was my girlfriend. She's to visit me. I said, that's not my girlfriend. That's not my girlfriend. She's the reason why I'm in here. She loves you. I said, what? She tried to
What a
kill me.
psycho.
She tried to kill me. No, no, she didn't. She's on her way in. She's coming in now. Get her out of here. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. They wouldn't take her out. They took her word that she was my girlfriend. That was my girlfriend. Wasn't my girlfriend.
Wow.
I went home after that. I was in bed in my office for 2.5 weeks. Could not get out of my bed. It hit me so bad. It screwed me up so bad. It was a month basically until I was able to get out of bed. Well, that's when I got that job and I was down in Nevada working. I came home feeling good for the first time in a month, a month and a half. And I opened the front door and there she is, half naked with this scumbag on my couch in the front room with all my belongings on a table in the front room. Yeah, everything, all my belongings. And it was guns, crossbows, knives, everything that I had that was dangerous that I had put away up out of the way. My daughter and I used to go shoot bow and arrows and stuff. She was very good at shooting compound bows. But all the stuff was out. Oh, there's a bee around you. Careful. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Get out of here, you.
At least it's a bee and not a wasp.
I think it might have been a yellow jacket.
Oh, God.
I know. Anyway.
It's coming back.
Yeah, the psycho lady was in
Put
my
all
house.
of your weapons and.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's where it was. So I was going up to get a dehumidifier out of my garage, and I grabbed that thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on around here, you fucking scumbags? They're tinfoil, burnt tinfoil all over the place. Oh, yeah, they smoked that stuff. It's just like, my house was a hazmat. Absolute hazard material waste everywhere. It was like broken glass pipes on the ground. My whole house was bamboo floors, so all hardwood floors. So everywhere you went it was crunching. She had brought 2 cats in that were destroying my house, crapping and pissing everywhere all over the house. I'm telling you, it looked like a crack house. And my house was like Better Homes and Gardens when I lived in it.
Oh.
It was nice,
She ruined
very
it.
nice. Me and my wife did as much as we could with the money we had when she was alive. And then when she passed, I got money, so I did the best to remodel my whole house. I had a swimming pool and backyard. I had a 8 or 900 square foot grow room in the backyard for all indoor growing. I grew for me and my wife grew, my Jehovah's Witness wife. We grew pot for 7 years, made good money. But yeah, everything was destroyed. Everything. She destroyed everything. So I flipped out, and her boyfriend or whatever started mouthing up, this little skinny fucker, and he was in the room next door to mine, and they were screaming and making noise. And I walked in there and I grabbed this dude, and I slammed him up against the wall. I'm like, "Fuck you!" I go, "What the fuck are you thinking?" He's mouthing off to me, and he didn't say nothing when I slammed him up against the wall. She ran outside and called the police on me. So I gathered up all there was 3 pellet guns, 122 that I didn't even know was in there because I was left at the house by another roommate. I can't have guns because when I got arrested before, 20-something odd years ago, when I was 27, I never cleared my record. So I always got the felony on there, but it doesn't show up after 10 years for if they try to look for employers and stuff like that. Only cops could pull up. So it never bothered me. I never even got pulled over. After I got busted and got married and all that stuff, it was like my life was family man. So I got pulled over after putting all this shit in my trunk. And they arrested me on the spot for abusing her and abusing that guy or assaulting him or whatever. And then they went through my car, and I had a blackjack, like a police staff, because I used to use that when I was hiking with my dog. I just take that with me as a stick and whatever. Had that, and I had some pocket knives. I had that 22, and just things I wasn't supposed to have. And so they busted me for that. And I got a felony charge for having weapons in my car.
No.
I never got domestic violence charges, never got nothing. But they put a 3-year restraining order on me from her, even after my house was foreclosed. I can't no contact. So that 3.5 years is going to be up in January. So is all my probation. I'm still on probation from that whole episode. That's how long it's been. And it's
But it'll be over in
coming up on my
January.
last
Good.
3 months.
Clean slate.
Yep, clean
Oh
slate.
gosh.
And yeah, like I said, I would love nothing more than to see that woman get what she deserves. But vengeance is not. It's not a good thing.
Yeah,
It's not a good thing.
yeah.
So
I hear
it's
it's like
just
drinking your own poison. Even still being angry at her
yeah.
is negative emotions
It
and
took me.
stuff that
You're
you harbor, and it
absolutely
makes
right.
you not feel good.
It
So
took me a
and
long time to understand forgiveness.
yeah, and it's not for her; it's for you,
No,
really.
forgiveness
Yeah.
is for you. It's
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
It's not for the people
Yeah,
that
because
you
they will
hate.
get
They're
they
gonna,
you reap what you sow, basically. If you
and
put
there's
negativity
energy.
out in the world, it's gonna come
There's
right back
energy
to
you
you.
create, and if you
Yes.
create bad energy, you're gonna get it. It's gonna come back on you. It just
100%.
washes back.
Yeah.
So yeah, she had OD'd one time at my house. And I came home and she was sitting on the couch and I was talking to her as I was making dinner because I always cook. And she wasn't saying nothing to me. And she was like leaning back and her lips were all blue. Well, what the fuck are you wearing? What the fuck? And her eyelids were blue.
Oh.
And I'm, what are you wearing? And she's not talking to me. And I'm like, she's all, and her friend had left Narcan at the house. At that time, I knew she was on drugs. At that point, she was very clear about her drug use after, before my daughter left. It was like the first couple months that she was there, it was clean, 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 clean. I know I'm no drugs, I'm on drugs, this and that. Oh,
Reading and studying about like spiritual stuff, and I read that when you use drugs and drink alcohol, that it opens up your soul to like lower dimensional like entities where they come in and
absolutely.
take over. So that's when
Absolutely.
people say, "Oh, you're not yourself," or "That wasn't me." Like when they do something and then
That's an excuse. That's an excuse.
yeah,
It is always you. You see, that's the thing. People on drugs, I morally never went bankrupt on drugs. I was just hurting. I was trying to
yeah,
numb pain.
yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't, I didn't become a terrible person when I was on drugs. I didn't
yeah,
go rob people. I
yeah,
always had my own money. So it was like I never needed to be a jerk and rob people or do anything wrong. I was hurting myself. I would
yeah,
never hurt anybody else.
yeah,
I wasn't going to bring anybody else into my shitty world.
yeah,
But there are people that are so lost in their addiction that they end up doing, you know, incomprehensible things to people.
yeah.
And those are the people who use that excuse. I wasn't myself. I wasn't
Yeah.
myself. I wasn't.
But I do, I kind of,
Once
I
you
mean,
get off the drugs, though, you become a different person. Yes,
yeah,
you don't have the
yeah,
excuse anymore.
yeah,
You use that as an excuse to do terrible
yeah.
things.
I mean, it's not an excuse, like that their behavior is not still okay, but I do believe that they're influenced by a lower level entity because they are vibrating at a lower level frequency,
Absolutely.
so it matches with like,
It's just one of those things. It's
yeah,
like the yin and yang. It's like you do bad things, even if it's to yourself. It's that type of energy that just it doesn't resonate right with anyone. People don't look at you the same. You're not genuine.
yeah,
And that's what drugs take away from you. They take away all your genuineness. They take away
yeah,
all of your integrity. They take away the person who's going to show up.
yeah. It
Yeah.
separates you from you, really, like your true potential and your highest
Yep.
capabilities. It just strips you away from that, and it keeps you like, wow.
Yep.
You
Like I
know?
said, when I said had done a lot of counseling and therapy and stuff like that, when I got in trouble before, I was made by the courts to go to counseling and to go to meetings, AA meetings, and stuff like that. And I figured, if I was going to be doing these damn things for 3.5 years, I'm going to get some stuff out of it.
Yeah.
I have to be here, so I'll listen.
Might as well. Yeah.
And I listened, and I saw a ton of people do good things with their lives that were in worse positions than me, and I said I was going to make the best of it, and that's what I did.
Good.
I was 27 years old, and I didn't mess around until I met with tragedy with my wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those people, like I said, I got wrapped up in people that were in a state of mind as bad as mine, and unfortunately, I was never one who needed an excuse to mess people up, because if I wanted to mess them up, I'd mess them up. They did something to me, I'd do something to them.
Yeah.
not so much anymore, but these people, man, it was like they would make excuses to go rob people and stuff like that. And I was like, get out of here. That ain't, that's not. That's when I said, you guys, all this stuff's got to leave. I kicked everybody out of my house. I got this new roommate in who wanted to be sober and clean, and that was my downfall. I just hadn't been clean enough long enough to be able to see it, you know. And like I said, it's going on 3 years now.
But it's in the past now, which is
Oh
great.
yeah, no, it's all in the past. It's like I said, my life is the best it's been since, well, when my wife was living.
Yeah. And so do you know what Kabbalah is?
I've heard of it.
So I've just recently discovered it and I took courses. Like I went all in. Like I bought the courses. I'm in this 30-day class that started last week. And I have 2 books on it. And it's actually helped my outlook tremendously. So the teacher, his name's David Guillen. I always pronounce his last name incorrectly, but I think it's David Guillen. I don't know. But he says that all of the level of pain, and it could be from the loss of someone or even the loss of a job, the loss of
trauma of any kind.
something that happens, an incident. The level of pain that you go through is your next ascension. Like if you go through it, you handle it, and you're like, okay, I'm better for it. Even though in the middle of it you can't see it. Obviously, it's too much. It's a lot going on, but time has passed, and you're like, okay, this is what I learned from that. This is what changed me from that. This is how I'm gonna. My mindset is different. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep. No, that was whatever. If it's a positive reaction, your soul somehow ascends, and your next season of life is going to be better. If you go through all that and you descend and you become kind of like the people that you described, where they're like, now I hate everyone and I'm going to make everyone pay, and then your soul descends, and then you're going to go ahead.
That was just a fly, I think.
No, I think I saw yellow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's obsessed.
It
wants to listen.
Must have its cologne on you, like they like. Some sort
But
of.
anywho, I'm gonna try to finish before I get attacked by the bee. Um, then you descend, and you're gonna go through that same level of pain again until you learn the lesson. And sometimes it gets worse, and sometimes it gets worse, and then that's why sometimes, probably like that lady. This is the first example that light bulb is she's someone who never learned her lesson, so she keeps going lower and lower and lower until she passes, and then she has to reincarnate and then do it all over again. So
yeah, I can't wait to hear about when she dies. I mean, it's because there's nothing good about her.
Yeah,
she's the type of person that will look you in the eye and do the most evil things that you can ever imagine. I mean, it's like, especially to somebody who is taking care of them or helping. It's like how do you help somebody so much and them just stick it in your back and twist?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. But it's like I said, it was like until I've just prayed and asked God over and over again to relieve me from this pain. I don't want to feel this pain anymore.
Yeah.
I gotta, and I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive her, forgive everybody I thought, did me wrong.
Yeah.
And it's been a year since I've really, really worked on that, and it's the level of peace now that I have is
good. And I do feel that it's only going to get better. I mean, there will be little tests, minor tests.
Oh yeah.
But
every day.
But
every day is good though.
Yeah, as long as
every day is good.
You're just like,
yeah.
What a gift. My soul is ascending.
My life is. It's right now, it's like I said. Right now I feel better in my day-to-day life that I've felt since 2013. That's when she passed.
Yeah.
And just never had a feeling of calm since then. always been anxious, always been in pain, always been angry, you know. And it's like Nikki is so, she's so different than the person that I used to know. Me and her, we were pretty high strung. We were pretty high strung. We, you know, we got along good in our physical way, but yeah, other than that, we were always at each other's throats and angry about things. And she was being taken advantage of, and so was I. So we were just, now we're in such different places. So it was like when I called her up and asked her for help, it was like I almost I couldn't recognize her voice when I was talking to her because she sounded so different. And she'd been off all the drugs and just working on herself. And it was like I came over here and it was just like, it was a blessing to see somebody who was in the same situation as me and working to be better.
Yeah, that's
So
great that you.
we were, like I said, we had kind of a physical relationship before. And since then, no, we're not like that anymore. We're roommates and we support each other. And she's um, disabled, like not disabled. She's getting SSI, Social Security, because of mental issues, PTSD, and all the abuse she's been through. So she's allowed IHSS workers. You know what that is? Yeah.
What
So
do they
I'm
take
her
care?
IHSS worker.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's my paycheck, my constant paycheck, along with the side work that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, she's good. She doesn't complain. It's like I cook for her. She never complains. You know, I
Yeah.
clean. She always thanks me for everything. It's just like having somebody appreciate you is immeasurable.
Yeah.
You know.
That's nice. And she's also a nice support system through all of that.
Oh yeah, and me with her, because she had broken away from her family and her kids too, and now they're all back in her life.
Oh, good.
Her daughter and her daughter's fiance, they were just over last week. Right when I got home, they were here the next day. And they
Oh,
stayed the night, and yeah, we had a great time.
so that's nice that you're still surrounded by
Our
families.
families are very much a part of our lives.
That's awesome.
Not my dad yet. My dad's still out of my life. I got real pissed at my dad because like a year or two into, after my wife had passed, he had called me up wanting to know when he was going to start getting his payments for the money that he lent me for the down payment on my house. Because we'd planned on doing this thing where we were going to finance the house and pay him back and this and that. My wife died before we got a chance to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, what the fuck? I just lost my wife. What do you mean? You want to know when I'm going to start paying you back? It was his wife asking. His wife is she's somebody I never got along with. And she was one of those people who did everything for my dad. My dad did everything for her, and I didn't like that. Another situation. And it was like my fault, you know. I saw that these are things that I created. You know, I know my dad and what kind of person he is. You know, I just wasn't handling it right. I didn't know better. I was letting my feelings dictate my life instead of logic. You know, yeah, you can hurt. Sure, you can hurt. You can be mad. You can be upset. But get over it, because it's only going to bring you down, because that's your feelings that are killing you.
Yeah.
Get right and then talk to them.
But yes. So I've also learned that that I allow myself to feel my feelings. I'll give myself a whole day. Like if that's what I need, a whole day to just feel it, let it out. But if it lingers for like the next day or the next day, then I have to kind of be stern with myself and be like, okay, enough. Life doesn't stop just because you're emotional. You had your day, you know, and I guess depends on the severity of like whatever the situation was. But if it was something like an argument or something small like that, I'll let myself feel it. Sometimes for a couple hours. But if I'm really like, if it was like, I don't know, someone in my family, I'll give myself a day.
I wish I could do that for a couple of hours. It's just been a lifetime with my dad.
Oh.
It's a lifetime of pain. Because my mom and my dad, like I said, were kind of two different people. My mom is more emotional. My dad isn't. And as they grew
they were
up,
two extreme opposites.
As they grew older, they just kind of continued to go apart.
Yeah.
You know, they were young and they were in love and they were kids and they were, you know, everything was great.
Yeah.
You know, and as they got older, they realized there was so much difference between them. And then my dad got in that mountain climbing accident. We were 24/7 with him for a year, you know, and then my dad finally went away on a vacation with with my mom's brother, his brother-in-law, two of them, both of his brothers. And my dad tried to hook up with some lady up in Tahoe. And my uncle came back and says, your husband's an idiot.
Yeah.
And told his sister, and
Yeah.
she's all, move out, get out.
Yeah.
And so I got home from camp. Dad was gone.
Yeah.
So, and it was like from then on in, it was a vendetta my mom had against him. He's such an a-hole. He's such a this. He should care more about you. He should be lifting
Oh, well,
you up.
that's
He should
not
be doing
good to
this.
be feeding.
It was just constantly. That's the way my mom is.
Yeah.
So I went through life looking at life through my mom's eyes
Yeah.
instead of my own eyes.
Yeah.
And
I
I
get
was
that.
only really able to kind of get over that whole thing midway into talking to my mom and my daughter almost 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And it was just like finally I had to give up my anger for my mom. I love my mom, but my mom is what caused my whole life to go down the toilet.
Yeah.
She gave me this crappy outlook on everything.
Yeah.
She was just, because my mom drinks
Oh.
alcohol, runs in the family. And she's a very bitter person, and when she drinks, it's even worse.
Oh, yeah.
And for the first year or so that I was talking to her, rekindling everything with her, I couldn't figure out why later on in the day when I was talking to her, she was feisty about everything.
Oh.
Until I started talking to my daughter, my daughter's like, she's drinking a lot. I was like, really? Because I didn't really know. My mom only started to drink a lot when she stopped talking to me years back. And because her mom died of alcoholism, and my grandfather, my grandmother,
Oh,
and
no.
her grandmother and her grandfather. So it's like, yeah. I mean, we have alcoholism and addiction in our family from one end of it to the other.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, I had to finally let go of my disdain for my mom and how she set me off she set me off in a direction that it was hard for me to navigate. Because
Yeah.
it was like she wanted to be my savior. Your dad's such an a-hole. I understand why you're so upset. He should be giving you this and not him. He should be giving you that, not
Yeah.
him. And it was like, yeah, you're right, Mom. So then I would go, the first minute I'd be with my dad would say one thing and I would go off on him. It was never a chance to build
Yeah.
anything good because I was always irritated underneath the surface. So, like I said, it's been a while. It's been years. My dad's got all of his money back that I borrowed from him. He's got no issues to be mad at me about. I don't have his number anymore, so I got his number a while back, about a year back for my daughter, and I never called him, and it was in my other phone. So I had to she's got to get me his number again. I want to get in contact with him. He goes between living in Indian Valley. You know where Indian Valley is? It's probably one of the nicest places in Marin County. They all have horses out there,
Aw.
land and stuff, nice houses. And then he's got a couple of condos in Maui.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got one in Maui that's probably worth $10 million by now. It's in
Wow.
Grand Wailea. Yeah, it's like really, really nice. I mean, they have water slides
Oh, cool.
in their own in the complex.
Wow.
I mean, this place is like, I've never been there.
Yeah.
Never been there. And then he's got another one on a golf course. So he goes between those, the house in Nevada and there, from what I understand. So I'm hoping I can, kind of rekindle our relationship.
I'm sure you can. You just have to let
I know that his
go
wife
of the...
hates me. His wife hates me more than anything in the world. She's like, she goes through his phone. If you leave messages, she goes through them and deletes messages
Oh,
and stuff like
no.
that. I was told I was supposed to try to get in touch with him through email. That's how crazy she's gotten. Yeah. My dad gave her daughter, for a wedding gift, his house in Belmar and Keys. He's got like 10 houses too. 10 houses in Marin County.
What?
Yeah. It took probably $2 or $3 million home in Belmar, 3-car garage on the water. Gave that house to her and her new husband.
Interesting. I wonder
And
if,
gave her brother, knuckle-headed brother, pothead, just dope, never did anything in his life, gave him a house in Petaluma, a couple blocks away from my house that I just lost. Yeah, so it's like, and everybody loved to tell me that. I hear your stepbrother and stepsister live in large. It's like, they were nice to my dad. I wasn't.
I wonder what his inner... So everyone, creates their own reality, and your great example of that was like growing up, your mom was kind of feeding you things about your dad, which, I mean, she's doing the best she can with the tools she has given her.
She was seeing me in pain, and she was
Yeah.
trying to say, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
He's like
So
that.
even though it, it wasn't great that she was kind of making it worse, she wasn't aware of that. She was
No, no,
thinking
she,
like,
and to this day she doesn't think that. Because
yeah, it's
I've had to sit down with her and talk to her and let her know that I've forgiven her. And
yeah.
she's like, "You've forgiven me for what?" It's like,
And
"Mom,
yeah, I
you're
think
not understanding. I've had a grudge against you for a while, Mom, because you've sent me off on this course of anger and hatred for this man that I never even got to know.
yeah.
You know, he moved out of the house when I was 11.
Yeah.
We had every other weekend with him, and he resented us for it. You know, it was just like he bought me a truck to come and live with him so he wouldn't have to pay my mom child support. And I lived with him for 6 months, and I couldn't do it anymore. I went back home, and he wanted the truck back. And at the time, I'm all, no, you're not getting my truck back. I hate you, and I'll give you my truck back. Fuck you. It's in my name.
Yeah.
So, and I went and moved back home with him, my mom, and he ended up having to pay her child support again. So it was just like, you know, it was just a constant battle with my dad and never getting to know him as a man.
Yeah.
I was always getting to know him as my mom.
Yeah. So
And
I wonder what, when you do talk to him, like what his reasonings. I'm sure that his wife was
there'll
also
never
doing
be any
something.
reasoning. When I talk to him, there'll never be any reasoning for anything. There'll never be anything spoken about it. Nothing. It'll just be pick up from there and go forward. Yep. He doesn't even he didn't even ever ask me when I got busted, when I got fired, or I left the company because of my elbow. And then after I was dealing drugs and stuff and I got caught and all this stuff, he didn't bail me out of jail. He didn't want to know anything about it. As far as he was concerned, I could sit in jail. And we never even spoke about it. Even after everything was over. Never even spoke about it. Never spoke about any of my dissension into hell. Nothing. Ever. Just like, forget it. We don't talk about that. Just move forward. And it was kind of very unhealthy.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like I know now, it's like, you know, the whole forgiveness thing now is, you know, I'm going to be getting to know this man just as a man.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
people are kind of set in their ways once they're older.
Yeah.
There's no getting them off their. They have created this
He gets what
programming.
he needs is he needs to be fed certain things to be happy in his life, and that's all. You know, and it's more respect for him, respect and reciprocation on get back and forth on whatever. That's what he's about. He's not about love. He's not about caring. He's not about nurturing. Not about none of that stuff. The nurturing comes in. You take care of me, and I'll take care of you. And he usually takes care of the people better than they take care of him. All he has to do is he's just got to get a little bit. If he sees you making an effort, helping him out, doing him right, he will lift you up. He's that kind of guy. He's very generous
Yeah.
in certain ways, but you got to show that to him. And I was never that guy because I was his kid. I was supposed to get it.
Oh,
I was
you just
I was
expected
deserving.
it.
I was deserving
Yeah.
of all that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just not the way he is.
Yeah.
And that's not the way people are sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to just take that with a grain of salt, man,
Yeah.
and just go with it.
People operate at different
Off
ways.
of different feelings, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we all get fed a certain way.
Well, I'm glad you shared all of that. That was a lot to unpack. um,
Yeah.
do you have any? Because my battery might not make it. Do you have any advice for anyone who might be going through a dark time?
Yes. What we talked about. Figure out what those dark things are. Figure out how they affected you. And if you've got to forgive somebody, forgive them.
Yeah.
Even if they're the worst people in the world. You don't ever got to talk to them again. You don't
Yeah.
ever have to do anything. Don't ever go down that path again.
Yeah.
Just forgive them.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Get rid of that anger, you know, and resentment. It just eats you up inside.
Yeah.
That stress messes up your body, makes you unhealthy,
Yes.
you know, and exercise. Exercise and getting rid of that stress is the best thing anybody can ever do, I think. That's the best
agree.
thing that anything that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Well, Mike, thank you for everything. Um,
Serena, thank you for
yeah,
listening.
yeah. You've definitely been through a lot. But I think that's what makes the best people is people who do go through
Damaged, the
things and
damaged, the
then
damaged people are mostly the real people because, until you get damaged, you don't know what you can go through and come
yeah,
out of.
yeah. And I feel most people have been through some stuff. It's just only a matter of time.
I'll tell you something. The people that don't have to go through as much pain are the people who have parents that are together. Parents that are together, I think,
True.
if you've got two parents in a household,
Yeah.
that you can get a masculine and a feminine input, that is the best thing that any child could ever have.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
you need to have that sense of who's in charge,
Mhm.
who's what responsibility is required from each parent, and
Mhm.
how that translates down to the kids.
Mhm.
And I've almost every kid that I went to school with that parents were together are the ones that are so far advanced right now as adults or as grandparents now with me.
Mm,
Um, because they had that dad saying no, don't do that. And when you don't have somebody there to say don't do that, you just do it.
yeah.
And then you start off going up, and then with every dumb thing you do, you kind of
Mm,
swerve a little bit off of that course. And if you don't have somebody correcting you, in my case, I needed a dad. I needed
yeah.
somebody to say, "Hey, knucklehead, stop doing that. Stop touching that damn thing. It's hot." You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Then they veer you back onto course. So if you've got influence, if you can take advantage of for a man, if you could take advantage of a masculine energy from somebody you trust and you know get along with, make the most of it because boys need that.
Yeah. I
Boys need it,
agree.
and girls need feminine things too. And it's like I wasn't that good. My daughter lost her mom when she was 11, and I
Yeah.
tried like heck to get a wife, somebody that can help her, and it was just you know things just happen, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, two parents are always good.
I
I
agree.
don't know if you've had two parents or not, but
I did for a short time, but my dad passed away in
really,
2010.
oh,
So, I
were you
mean, I was
close?
already an adult. Oh, so he was my stepdad.
Mm,
But he was the man that raised me. He was incredible. I think I've talked about him a lot on this show, but he took over. I think my mom says I was 3 was when he was like reading me stories. Was taught me how to fly a kite, got me my first bike, made a big deal of my birthday. He was like the greatest dad. Um, and then he passed away in 2010. But I had 2 sisters from him. um, I don't call them my half sisters because we don't see that at all.
yeah.
I have their names on my mom and my 2 sisters because they are my part of me. Like they are my closest everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's difficult because toward the end, I was in my like very early 20s, like 21, 22, and he would try to parent me, and at that age, I thought I
You're
knew
rebellious.
better.
You're rebellious. You know everything, man.
Yeah, so
Bulletproof.
it's hard because toward the end we would argue a lot. So that last like year and a half was just a lot of like we were really close when I was little. And then you become a teenager and you go off to do
Oh
your own
yeah,
thing
I
and
know. My
then
daughter, when she became 19, 20, it was like I was not only doing bad things, but she felt she had a reason to be as rebellious as she wanted to be.
yeah, so it's rough because then he was gone and then I never really got to say I'm sorry or thank you or anything. I mean I do now. And I know that it's received. So I
Yeah.
feel okay about it, but at the time it was rough because I was like oh, you know? So, yes, we were, but then towards the end we weren't, which is what makes it harder.
But see, that's the thing though. At the end now, he passed, and because you had that connection to him, because you have the memories that you had with him, you had that male influence, and you had that strength that he provided.
Yeah.
It you're a lovely person,
Thank you.
and it's I believe that's part of it. You know,
Yeah, he was a big influence.
you
And
need that.
to I do, and I think every girl does, because the guy that I had just interviewed, his name's Ziggy. If you guys want to go back and watch it, we were talking about how he was going through, like, he has a daughter, and we were talking about how important it is for him to be in her life because the influence my stepdad had on me was what, like, he
It
wouldn't
sets the,
allow me to be treated a
it
certain
sets
way.
the groundwork
Yeah.
for your standards.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, and it's kind of a unique situation because even though I was a baby, my birth father, and no animosity towards him. I know sometimes I sound like I'm like to my, but I'm not. I understand that his background and what he went through is why he was the way he was. So I'm not.
And that's it too. You got to think about it like that
Yeah.
because yeah, we all think about what we need,
Mhm.
but they're
But
only given
parents
what
are humans
they're only
too.
given
Yeah.
what they know how to give. You
Exactly.
know.
Yeah. So I think I needed to heal that part of me first because it was a wound of abandonment. Even though I had a dad that took over and was like better than I could even imagine, the
Oh yeah.
bloodline of, like, I was
Do you ever
like,
talk to him?
no.
Do you know? You have never knew him or anything?
I did, but it doesn't make sense for me to be involved in his
Oh
life
yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
because we were two different, like, two different. Like, I can't have a conversation with him like this.
Mm.
I don't think he would understand. Um,
Yeah,
and
I
I
know what
think,
you mean.
yeah.
My dad's the same
So
way.
yeah, but I think he's still even actively behaving like a teenager, if you know what I mean. Like, he's out in the streets,
If you're
and
not ready to if you're not ready to change, you don't change. You know, there's a point in
he's
your life that you're going to change or you're not.
right. So
And some people just die like that.
yeah, and I heard his health isn't great, and I kind of, at this point, I kind of expected it, and I'm actually surprised that he is even still around. Not that I want anything to happen to him. I'm just, given his lifestyle, I was surprised that
Hmm.
he is able to still be doing all of these things. Um, and he's not a bad person. He just made some really bad choices.
Yeah, isn't
Um,
that how it goes?
and I think he just got stuck in it. And
Yeah.
he's going to be one of those that has to come back and do it all over again because he didn't learn the lessons.
I hear you. I
But
hear you.
anywho, I hope that my battery has not died. But um, but yeah, so thank you, Mike. And thank you for your advice and sharing everything. I'm sure that it inspired some people and opened some eyes. So
I hope
thank you
so.
for that. Yeah. Um, and how I end my show is I always remind everyone to be authentically themselves. Don't ever try to be anyone other than yourself. There is a reason you are you. There is a reason you have gone through the things that you went through to mold you into this great person. And as long as you're learning from the lessons, you're going to keep ascending and getting better and better and better. So, with that said, be who, and then you're supposed to say be you.
Be you.
Yeah. Bye. See you next week. Yay.